Well, good evening, America. Tonight we'll begin my third segment on my Sweet Redemption series. Last week, I stopped at really talking about, celebrities wanting to be involved in the political process and how I felt that, if they're going to be running for public office, really do your homework. Really decide if this is something that you're truly passionate about or it's just a personal goal you want to obtain, because it makes a difference. When you're passionate about a public office and the responsibilities that come with being in public office, then you'll take your job serious. You'll operate from an ethical perspective. When this situation occurred with me 7 years ago, as it relates to me being a victim of racketeering practices, I got to learn a lot about corrupt government. And I'm almost certain the reason why I was treated so badly is because I was a African American young lady that came from a middle to upper middle class background. I wasn't affluent enough, or my pigmentation wasn't light enough for me to get any help. So I find myself having to file my case in pro se court and wind up having to deal with a lot of devilish people in the process. And basically, the corrupt governmental officials that were involved, they used me as a pawn, like I was in a chess match, to earn money off of the medical college that I was formerly employed with, who I was trying to sue because they were blatantly negligent. They had dismissed me from the job out of a sheer act of retaliation. It became a retaliatory case. And so the government took it to a whole different level. And the reason why I hold Barack Obama and Eric Holder accountable, they knew what was going on, but they thought they were better than me. And these chumps ain't never had anything until young, college age, and career age individuals of all races, especially Barack Obama, put him where he got. And that was in the White House. And all of a sudden, he gets in the White House making all these celebrity friends and ain't been more concerned about the public than anyone. He was like a kid in the candy store in the White House. He didn't do real government. And not only that, I don't want any more presidents that can't truly lead. I'm here 7 years later, still dealing with a lot of people on the local level, blocking me from getting a full-time job with benefits. I've experienced some heinous, crazy, unnecessary things just because I'm an African American young lady. And I'm almost certain the reason why they treated me as bad as they did, my stepfather's deceased and my uncle, who holds a mathematics degree from Berkeley, who served 21 years in the military. My daddy served 2 years in Vietnam War. My grandfather served in World War II. 4 out of 5 of my mother's brothers served in the military. And they want to treat me like I don't matter? I dare them. I am going to continue to fight for justice in my situation. The only difference between little baby Trayvon Martin and I, because the kid could be old enough, he was young enough to be my son. And my situation is one, he's resting in peace. And I'm still dealing with racist individuals and dumb, unwise African Americans that treat me like I don't even exist, period, which is blatantly disrespectful to me. And I'm tired of dealing with this crazy government that has been created by a lot of people that come from working class families that use corrupt corporations to make money. And they're stealing. The Department of Labor is just as corrupt. I had gotten dismissed from a job. It just seemed like every year after this situation occurred at this medical college. Mind you, 39 years old, never got fired from a job in my life. Been working there since I was 16 years old. And every year after that, I had never been able to keep a job beyond a year. I would say 7 months to a year. Working out in Franklin, Tennessee. Had acquired a job. They dismissed me for no real reason. Paid me unemployment. Yet, I waited 8 to 10 weeks. No employment benefits. Hired an attorney. He made one telephone call in less than 24 hours. The back pay for my unemployment was in my account, which tells me a lot. They're stealing money from corporations. But what troubled me, and I didn't understand this, I didn't understand why the attorney didn't want to take my case any further. Not sure the legitimacy of the attorneys here in the city of Nashville. Mind you, on last week's segment, I had said I had called I don't know how many attorneys that did not want to take my case. So I wonder, are they ethical, or they just don't have the money to take the case? Because now there's so many agencies involved that was trying to plan my demise. It's a federal case. But EEOC could have took 3 of my cases and only gave me this indirect, vague right to sue letter, which didn't make any sense to me. You got a right to sue letter, but you can't find an attorney to take your case. We don't need attorneys like that. And they use these lame excuses. We decide who we want to represent. Some's not right. Oh, I know what type of people they like to represent. Uneducated people that don't really know when they're getting played. So, it baffles me that so many individuals around the country is dealing with a lot of crazy issues because we have negligent people running our country. It's not right. And once again, because I'm very hurt. Like I said, 7 years of my life has passed by. And when you're going through a lot, you want to put a lot of people in your life. So I haven't been able to have a relationship. My chances of having children are slim to none. And it hurts because I was a highly ethical individual, just wanted to settle into my career. I was so passionate about working in the field of behavioral health. I love my clients. I love what I did. And as soon as my career began, it was practically over in that capacity. And it was not fair that my career got stopped. And what was even more hurtful, that's why I don't understand why I'm going through, like, God, why did this have to happen to me? And why is all these people thinking that they better than me when my mama and stepdaddy, they had money. They could take care of themselves. They never had to live off the government. Now, I'm not putting people down that need government assistance, but they put me down so bad I found myself. having to access some governmental programs because I was just, like I said, starting out in my career. And what had really set me back so bad right before I had gotten my career after obtaining my master's degree, we had went through a massive flood here in 2010. So that's what really prompted me to purchase a home. And so it depleted a lot of my funds because I had to purchase a house. I had to purchase a car. And so, I had a substantial amount of money in my bank account, but all that got depleted. So once again, a few months after all that transpired, on my birthday, February the 20th, 2011, God blessed me to go back to work. And 7 months later, greatly attacked by Ron Bailey out of a sheer act of retaliation. And my career hasn't gotten back on track. And I'm sitting here like, God, why did this happen? And I'm angry. I'm super angry. And it has affected my prayer life. It has affected a lot. And it's like I'm tired. I've been going through the motions. I haven't been able to get help. And I'm like, my mom and stepdad has never put their nose down on anybody. And they was truly blessed people. My stepdad, he contracted himself. He was a truck driver who contracted himself to big companies. So he worked for himself. My mom wanted to be a medical assistant, an MA. So she still is on her job. She works for a laboratory, and she been with that laboratory for 30 years. So we're honest people who have to feel bad because God blessed us. Everybody has to have a project story before they can get help. And it's not right. And I'm not going to let nobody make me feel bad from coming from an upper to middle class family and was able to do what she wanted to when she got ready. And never had any really major financial problems until all this transpired. God set me up greatly to excel in my career. And a nut by the name of Ron K. Bailey and his friend, who was the president at Meharry Medical at the time, ruined all that. And it's not right and it's not fair. And like I said, if the government would have been acting correctly, I would have got compensated royally for what they did to me because my case was a retaliatory case. And the way that the government is operating is not ethical. And I will never let anyone, I don't care if you own oil wells, I don't care if you're a self-made man, I'm not going to allow you to make me feel like I'm less than you. Because I did things the right way to get where I was going. I just wanted to be a little social worker. And then after I got my master's degree, I just wanted to be someone that counsels and provide therapy to people, but you guys wouldn't let me do that. So you owe me a lot of money in this country, and I'll be doggone if I'm gonna go out of this, because death isn't anything that I'm afraid of, because my soul is just housed in this shell, which is a body. So you'll never be able to hurt my soul, and you're not gonna threaten me or make me feel bad for wanting justice in my situation. I will never allow anyone, whether they're a rich African American or Caucasian who has been conditioned to believe they're superior, or Hispanics who think that they're better than everybody, some of them, or Asian who really is kind of sometimes subtle. But one thing I can say about Asians, they do employ a lot of African American people to sell their hair. And they kind of neutral in everything. They're smart people. But once again, I'm not a racist. Never had any issues with anybody up until all this stuff transpired. People are people. We're going to always be in the world with people bickering toward one another. We're always going to have race wars. It is what it is. I don't really care one way or the other. I always treat people, the way I want to be treated. I just want to get compensated. I want to get my life back on track. So I'll continue to talk. I'll continue to shed light on this crazy government that we're currently living under in the millennium. Thank you so much for your time tonight, America. I hope you've enjoyed this third segment. May God continue to bless and keep you all.